Will there be a vote? Could Republicans get it through? For more, want to bring in Leonard Lance. He's a Republican congressman from New Jersey. He is from one of those districts. Republican member of Congress, voted for Hillary Clinton in the presidential election. Congressman, you were one of the no's when this was coming to a head a few weeks ago. You've seen the changes offered today. Are you still a no?
I am still a no, Steve. I don't think that this improves the bill.
In what way does it fall short?
I think we have to make sure that premiums are lowered for the American people. And I believe as well that pre-existing conditions is an important issue. As you know, I've held town hall meetings, and I want to move forward in a bipartisan way on this issue. I would like to see purchase of policies across state lines, for example, and I remain with my position before the Easter recess.
And what's the sense you get from your colleagues there, other Republicans who were outside the Freedom Caucus, because this deal right now seems to be mainly with the Freedom Caucus, but other Republicans who were opposed to this, who are not on the in the House Freedom Caucus, have you had a chance to talk to them today? Have any of their reservations been answered, or are they still where you are?
I speak for myself, Steve, but I would imagine they are where I am, and I'm close friends, for example, with Charlie Dent, who's from across the Delaware River in Pennsylvania from the district I serve, and I believe my position and his position are identical on this issue.
Let me turn to the other big issue there on Capitol Hill today, and that is the issue of taxes. The Trump administration putting a blueprint out here for a tax reform. Corporate rate down to 15% is what they want. 3 income tax brackets, 10, 25, 35%. The criticism here so far is no indication other than saying economic growth of how this would be paid for, how you would avoid the deficit spiraling even further on this. Where do you come down on what the Trump administration put forward today on taxes?
This is an initial proposal, and I certainly think we need to lower rates on individual Americans and on the business community as well. And I would like to try to attract profits from abroad back to this country, and I think an analysis will indicate that that is possible. I certainly want to see details, and from the perspective of the district I serve, Steve, in New Jersey, I would like to preserve the deduction of local taxes because, as you know, we have very high property taxes in New Jersey.
Right. Right now, also in this blueprint, state local tax deduction, that would go away under this blueprint. But let me ask you that big picture question there about the deficit. How important is it to you that any package you vote on tax reform is deficit neutral? If you're not satisfied that this would be deficit neutral, is that a showstopper, or could you accept still voting for it?
I would want to see an analysis on that. I certainly don't favor increasing the deficit dramatically. I do think that we need greater growth in this country, particularly in states where growth has lagged. And I'm also hopeful that perhaps attracting profits from abroad might be used for an infrastructure bill, and of course that will create economic activity, which will in turn create greater tax revenue for the nation as we build our infrastructure. And certainly, Steve, our infrastructure needs to be rebuilt.
All right, Congressman Leonard Lance, Republican from New Jersey. Thanks for the time.